I did a video a few days ago taking my most beloved Project Pan items and trying to dupe them in my makeup collection. Sometimes project panning can be so daunting because you think, oh my god, I love this product so much. I finally found my holy grail and soon it's going to be gone because I'm trying to finish it. But if you have a bigger collection like I do, trust me, you can probably find some dupes. And I'm going to do part 2 of this today. So I have a bunch of Project Pan items with me right now. I've got this, I've got this, I've got so many things on my desk that I am gonna try to dupe in my collection today. And then at the end of this video, I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison on my face. Can you tell? Let me know down below what differences can you tell. I know it's crazy. Half of my face is done with different products from the other half. I cannot tell at all. So today I'm going to rummage through my collection, I'm going to get some dupes, and I'm going to do a get ready with me at the end. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, be sure to like and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. I am trying my very, very best to get as many subscribers as I possibly can because I do upload every single day here on my YouTube channel. I love bright, fun, colourful makeup. Today I was kind of limited to my Project Pan items, but I really like this. It's kind of like ethereal, kind of like a lot subtler than I would usually go, but I'm liking it. I do have a channel memberships as well if you're interested in behind the scenes and member exclusive content too. But without further ado, I think I'm just going to jump into it. I'm really excited for you to see these dupes because honestly, this blows my mind. So get cozy, get comfortable. This is going to be a longer video and I will see you on my desk to swatch some beautiful makeup. Okay, so these are the products that I'm going to try and dupe today. Some of these aren't actually in active project pans, like these 3 lipsticks are only in my 100 products I want to pan this year, so they're not actively being worked on, but they would ideally be finished this year, so hopefully I'll have them done. These are actively in projects. Is this one? I think that's in 10 uses. This one actually is something that I tried to dupe in the last video I did. I have done a part 1. This is part 2. This is Colourpop Ice Dream, and I actually couldn't find a dupe to this in the last video that I did. However, in the time between filming that video and filming this video, I found a product that I think is actually a dupe that I did not include in my first video. So you know what? I'm going to start with that one because Ice Dream's going to be pretty quick. Like I said, I did do a big old deep dive into Ice Dream last video, but I have found a product that I think is very, very similar. And that is this. This is my 7 Wonders eyeshadow from the Pastel Roses. It's in the shade Oasis. I do have a code with the Pastel Roses. It's Caitlin20. That will get you 20% off, and that is not affiliated. That's just for you to get some money off. And this, I'll swatch this one first. This is a beautiful shade. This has almost like a clear base with blue, purple, and pink sparkles in it. It is so stunning. The Super Shock formula is just one of a kind. It's so beautiful, and I tried for so long. I must have swatched like 10 different eyeshadows trying to get something that looked like this. And I said in my everyday makeup drawer series, it's really difficult for me to reach for these just because I stand them like this. You can't see what color it is, and it's really sad because these are stunning. But let me swatch this next to it. Okay, that's what that looks like. This definitely has more of a base to it, but the sparkles are the exact same. Oh my goodness, you guys, after that whole ordeal in the last video, I'm gonna build this up a little bit. Look at that. They're the same after the whole ordeal that we went through, after everything, after swatching so many things. We have finally found a dupe with my absolute favourite brand in the world, the Pastel Roses. So now I feel a lot better about project panning this. As you can see, there is a pan on it already, and it's very, very low in this pan. There is not much product left at all, so I was really, really panicking about this, but I'm so glad that I do indeed have a dupe. As I said, this definitely has more of a base. The Ice Dream shade is definitely more sparkly, like on its own, but this is a really, really close dupe. So you know what? I'm really glad that I updated that in this video because I wanted to swatch them side by side and I wanted to say I do indeed have a dupe. So that is a success, I think. Right, that was an absolute ordeal last video, but we've done it. We're good. Okay, so in the last video, we did do my Pan That Face palette blush. If you're new to my channel, my Pan That Face palette this year isn't actually a palette. It's made up of 3 singles. I decided to do this just because I've noticed a lot that I really focus on my face palettes in my Pan That palette every year, and then my singles just get neglected. They just sit there gathering dust, and I really don't want that. Oh my god, you guys. I've just seen this as well. That's very ice dreamy. Are you serious? I think this is an even better dupe. The Kimchi Pilgrim Wild highlight. Guys, I should not be worrying about Ice Dream. I have dupes. Okay, I don't know where my brain was last video. I just clearly did not think of those products, but that's fine. Anyway, let's move on to these. I keep getting pulled back to Ice Dream. So this is my Ofra Glazed Donut highlight. I am kind of spoiling my Pan That palette for you here a little bit, but that's fine. And then this is my Ofra, I mean, excuse the packaging, my Ofra Format bronzer. Both of these have been, as you can see, really, really loved in my collection over the past few months. And I don't think I'll be finishing this highlight this year, but I think I'm going to be finishing this bronzer. And I love both of these products, so today I'm going to try and find some dupes for them. I'm going to start with the highlight. I actually can't wait for this to be finished just because of this packaging. It drives me insane. Someone did say that I could depot it into other packaging, but like, I want the pan. I want to see the pan expansion, and I don't know, I'm stubborn. So we'll pop that to the side for now, and let's start with this highlight. So I have my cheek drawer open right now. This is a pure white highlight, as you can see. Very, very icy. Very beautiful. Like, look at that. Blinding, insane, smooth, gorgeous, beautiful. So the first one, I think I'm going to try and swatch this one. This is my Made by Mitchell Blush Pressed Lights Highlighter Duo in Dripped in Ice. And I'm going to swatch the shade Ice Ice Baby. And that is this kind of white shade here. This has kind of got more yellow in it. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that. It's kind of similar. The Ofra is definitely cooler. This is slightly more warm, which, you know what, I didn't actually realise until I'd swatched it next to the Ofra. So maybe that's a good thing. It's a good little exercise to do because I did not realise how warm this was. But it's not crazy warm, but it's definitely got some yellowiness to it. So I wouldn't call that a dupe. It's similar, but it's not exact. You know what? Maybe if I put a bit of like this over the top of it. Oh, I mean, that's cooled it down a lot. That's kind of similar, kind of a little bit. It's taken away that yellowness to it. It's definitely not exact still, but that's interesting. Okay. This is one that really jumped out in my mind when I thought about duping this. I've thought these are dupes for the longest time. This is the Makeup Obsession Mega Lightening Highlight. I don't think this is available anymore, which is such a shame because this is crazy blinding. As you can see, it's got less of that yellow. And definitely, they are exact. Look at those. They are pretty much exactly the same. That is crazy. I have loved this for so long. This can actually get a bit too much on the skin. If you try and use it, it can get a little bit like, whoa. That is like way too much highlight that you're wearing. But I think these are really, really good matches for each other. If you look at those swatches there, I think that's definitely closer than the Mitchell. Okay, I'm going to see if there's anything else in my collection, but honestly, I don't think I'm getting closer than these two. No, I think the rest of my highlights are very kind of champagne, or they have this kind of warmness to them. I think these two are definitely the closest that we're going to get, and I will obviously compare them on my face later on in this video, but These two I'm pretty confident about. And I'm going to pop the Mitchell one back. Okay, so then that leads us on to this bronzer. Now, this could be really easy or really hard. I'm not too sure which one yet. This is such a beautiful bronzer. I have loved this thing for so long. I know a lot of people don't like it because it is quite shimmery, but I just love this. I'm going to be genuinely gutted when this is done. It's very dark, it's very satiny, it's like a lot, it's very different. I think that's what I really like about it. It's a bronzer that is so different to everything in my collection. Well, we'll see. We'll see, won't we? I might pull in like the first one and be like, oh, it's exactly the same. But from my perspective right now, I think this is very different. The shimmer in it is almost red. And I love that. I have a very yellow undertone, so this goes with my skin so well. And I do use a light hand with this because obviously that is dark. But I don't know. I really don't know if I have anything like this. Let me rummage and let me have a look. Okay, I've just pulled out all my shimmer bronzers for this. And these are them. These are all of my shimmer bronzers. I don't think I have any more shimmer bronzers. I've not really thought about shade. I've just pulled out shimmer bronzers. So let's put Ofra back a little bit. Let's start with Essence Love That Glow and Bronze palette. This is the shimmer bronzer in this palette. It's called Sunkissed Sparkle. Let me have a look. That's definitely more gold. Let me swatch that there. Yeah, you see what I mean about this being more red? That is definitely gold. And I feel like this is what's going to be for all of these kind of dupe attempts. I think all of them are just going to be gold instead of red, which really makes me sad because like I love this so much. But that's definitely not a dupe. It's definitely a lot paler. Okay, let's do Mitchell Bronze Pod in the shade Almond Mom. This is my most hopeful product, I think. I don't know. These two, I don't feel like these two will have the glow that I want. These two are more like subtle glow. This is not. Okay, let's swatch. Oh. It's definitely more gold than Ofra. It's not quite the same like red undertone, but it's definitely a lot better than the Essence one. That's definitely the closest so far. It's got that sheen in it. I feel like the Essence is like shimmery, like pure shimmer, like shimmer eyeshadow. These two are kind of like satin, which I like. Okay, let's do the Catrice Sun Lover now. I don't think this is gonna be... Oh man. Yeah, it's nice. It's a lot paler though than the Ofra, so that's definitely not going to be a dupe. And then the Revolution Bronzer Reloaded in the shade Long Weekend. If I can open it, there we go. This might work. Let's swatch that there. No. Those two are very, very similar. No, it just doesn't have the like depth, which is fine because sometimes this Ofra can get a little bit much, but I do really love a glowy bronzer and a dark bronzer. I don't know why, because I am so pale. You'd think that I'd like these more subtle light bronzers, but I just love a deep bronzer for some reason. I think I like to kind of catfish myself into thinking that I'm not as pasty white as I am, so I like these bronzers. But I think the Bronze Pod is going to be the dupe that we're going to use because that's definitely the closest in my collection. You know what? I'm happy about that though. That's not too different. Yes, it's more golden. This is more red, but I'm happy with that. That's okay. I cannot wait to get rid of this packaging. Oh my God. Okay, let's do a lipstick now. This is the shade Brink from Colourpop. It is a Colourpop Lippie Stix. This is in my 100 products I want to finish this year. This is definitely more pink than I usually go for. Right now, I'm really obsessed with brownie nudes and not this in particular. So this should be interesting. I am on as I said, a brown nude kick right now. But this... kind of like a slightly peachy, medium, orangey red. Yeah? Yeah. Also, please ignore my nails right now. I've had to leave them for 5 weeks because my nail lady was completely booked up. So I do have an appointment in a few days. So I know they're grown out a lot, but we're just going to ignore that. Okay, so these are my classic bullet lipsticks. There are a few right now that are not in here. That could actually be. I've just seen this. Let's watch this first, actually. This is the Beauty Crop. Let me have a look. The Juice Pot Lip Duo in Raspberry. That looks very similar. Obviously, this is a liquid. It's a lot darker. But, you know, it's okay. Put that to the side as a possibility. A lot of these are going to be... Yeah, that's not going to be the same. I feel like if these two had a baby, it would be that. You know? This and this had a baby equals that. But not quite. I feel like lips are going to be a little bit hard just because, again, all of my lip products are like this brownie nude shade. And I don't have too many that are this more pink. Not pink, but... I don't know. No, not really. It needs to be more darker and more saturated than this. I think that's what I mean. Like, saturated lip products aren't really for me. You know what? This could be a shout. That's very similar. That's almost identical. You know what? This could be the dupe. This is from Catkin. This was sent to me in PR. This is the shade Maple. And I mean, can we just have a look at the packaging of this? How insanely stunning is that? But that, actually, it's slightly more pinky than Brink. But that is a real contender. I think that's a lot better than this liquid one. So I'll pop this liquid one back. That's very, very close. Okay. So now I have more like liquid products, liquid lips. I'm kind of thinking, I don't really know, maybe this is very red though. This is Sleek, definitely more red, a lot darker. I don't think that's going to be our dupe today. Profusion, that's kind of similar. It's a lot sheerer though. This is kind of like a lip gloss. So yeah, it's similar. I don't actually think I've used that. I need to use that. I don't think I've ever used it. So... Pretty, it could definitely go with Brink. It's a lot more of a sheerer formula. I think I'm sticking with the Catkin for now. Then we have even more lip glosses. Some of these Odin's Eye ones are quite opaque glosses. That's kind of similar. That's the shade Besso. It's obviously a lot shinier. I don't know. I think that's a very similar tone. But because of the shininess of it, I think I'm going to stick with Catkin just because that is the proper dupe. This is like a colour match, but it's very, very shiny. Obviously, it's a gloss, so I don't think... But it's nice to know that this is a very similar colour. Don't think I'm going to get any more dupes. I think I'm happy with these two, you know. I'm happy with these. We'll put them to the test on the face later on. But I'm happy with these. I don't know why I keep putting my lip glosses back because I have... another Lippie Stix that I want to dupe. This is At Twilight. This is slightly different shade. You know what? That's actually really similar. That's that one. It's definitely more of a peachy shade, but it's very, very similar to Brink. And I also would like to dupe the Huda Beauty Shiro as well, which, you know what? I think these are dupes for each other. Maybe not formula-wise, but definitely colour-wise. They're like the same. You know what, for now, I think I'm good with those two just being dupes for each other. Like, yeah, no, I'm happy with that. I think that's pretty good. And then this shade, I think this was the Anastasia shade, is kind of similar to that as well. Slightly more cool tone, but no, you know what? I've just duped it with themselves. Okay, that's fine. And then I have one more thing to dupe. And then I have two more things to dupe, and these are from my Pan That palette, which I'm so excited about. I'm excited and nervous about my Pan That palette because I love it so much, but I'm obviously trying to finish it. Maybe I should have done the lipsticks last because, I mean, oh my goodness. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. So the shades I'd like to dupe from this palette are these two shades. So the shade Slated and the shade Rock Steady. These two are so beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm gonna get all of the wetness off my hands. So the shade Slated, I mean, look at that. Oh, it is such a high shine, beautiful, almost Super Shock shadowy eyeshadow. And then the shade, what was that? Rock Steady. Oh my god, I had a brain fart then. Is kind of like Warm Taupe Mark II. If you were here for Warm Taupe, you're a real one. I was panning the Anastasia Modern Renaissance not that long ago, last year, and Warm Taupe was one of my favourite shades from that palette, and I've kind of been reunited with Warm Taupe through Rock Steady. So I think I have an idea for Slated, which is this, also from Colourpop. What? Hang on, that's Ritz. And I want to pull I Heart This as well. So Ritz and I Heart This. Ritz definitely won't really be a dupe. Ritz has no base to it. The sparkle is similar, but there is like no base to Ritz. Well, there is. It's kind of like a deep, you can see it there, like a deep kind of warm, but you can't really see it head on. This is definitely more of a traditional shimmer. This is like a speckles on top kind of shimmer, if you know what I mean. So I kind of knew that they wouldn't be the same, but I Heart This has more of a base to it. So I'll swatch that there. That is similar. That is very, very similar. I think I Heart This is slightly cooler. I don't know if you can see the base there. It's like slightly darker, slightly cooler, but the shimmer head on is very, very similar. I Heart This almost has like a purpliness to it, slight like purpley grey to it, which is interesting. It's definitely darker on the reflect here than Slated. Slated doesn't really have that deep cast, but that is very, very similar. Okay, I'm glad I've got that. I'm going to put Ritz away because I don't think that's going to be a dupe. Maybe something from the Natasha Denona Glam could work. Maybe like this shade in a corner. Let's swatch that here. Oh, that's kind of, again, if this and this had a baby, it would be this. You know, that's definitely warmer though. It's definitely a bit too warm than what we want. Maybe inner corner here. And that's kind of more yellowy green almost. Yeah, a lot of Natasha Denona's, you can definitely see they're more satiny. Not satiny, but the shimmer is kind of more infused in the product. If you can see here, you can kind of see the texture of this. Natasha Denona is very smooth, and I want that like speckly texture, you know? So I don't think this is going to be a winner either. Maybe something from Adept. This could work. Emma? That's gold. That won't work. What about Ava? No, that is dark. That's not gonna work. Okay, they're not dupes. Stan is snoring again. I'm so sorry. He has such a hard life. He has such a hard life. You just don't understand, guys. What about Fall from the Botanical? I'm running out of spaces to swatch. No. I'm getting further and further away right now. Savannah? That's very pink. Oh, I don't know. I think this is going to be the best one. That's this one. Yeah. I think this is going to be our closest dupe. So I'm going to put that one to the side. And then I'm going to focus on my beautiful Warm Taupe wannabe. I always do the same thing. I always fall in love with like the taupey grey matte, and then I finish it and then don't know what to do with my life. So I want to learn from that mistake. I want to have something in the back burner because I know this is going to take me so long to finish. I've not even hit pan on it yet, but I want to be safe. Okay, so I have this from the Essence Welcome to Cape Town palette. This is like a taupey shade. It's definitely a little bit more green leaning, a little bit warmer than this. I want something with that real like coolness to it. I feel like this is going to be way too light, but yeah, that's going to be way too light. That's from the Pastel Roses. definitely way too light there. No. How about Anastasia Mini Sugar? Maybe this. This has some like shimmery, glittery bits in it, but I mean, if you just blend it out, they go away. That's now too cool. Great. Fab. No, absolutely not. That's weird. When I just swatch this palette on its own, I don't see how, like, purple it is. Even these taupes, I just kind of saw them as taupes. But now seeing that swatched next to all these other taupey shades, it's made me see how purple leaning this actually is. That's crazy. Maybe this shade, Nature, from the Sakura palette? No, that's way too grey. Oh my god, who knew this would be so hard? Okay, we're back to Natasha Denona. Maybe this shade, Crease. Oh! It's definitely kind of similar. Is this the most similar we've had? No, what was this one? Oh no, what was this one? That was from Anastasia. So I think Anastasia is still the closest, but this I think is a close second. Maybe if I swatch like this. That's too warm. Okay, that's a close second though. Okay, we're back to Botanical. Ash. No, that's way too grey. Okay, Mushroom maybe? No, that's very grey as well. Bit too light. Oh my goodness. Oak. Oh, that's kind of similar. That's that one. I think... Is that... No, Anastasia. I think Anastasia is still closer. That has that warmth to it, which I don't think I want. So no. Again, no. Maybe something from Titanium Fox. What? That's pigmented. Nope. Not what we need. That's a bit grey. You know what? I think it's going to be Anastasia. I think that this shade is our official shade, which is this one. So, now that we've got all our dupes, let's do a side-by-side, get ready with me, and see how close these really are. Okay, I just did my base off camera because we didn't dupe any base products, but we did dupe like cheeks, eyes, all that kind of stuff. So I just ran off, did that all off camera before I got into the dupes. So I think this side is going to be my Project Pan side and this side is going to be my new dupe side. I am going to fill in the gaps with some products that we duped last video in part 1. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go and see that because that was like my feeling out, you know, feeling out session. This is like the big bad boy session. So for the bronzer on this side is going to be my Ofra and then on this side is going to be my Made by Mitchell. So we'll see how similar these really are on the face. With this I really like to use a big fluffy brush because it is quite a deep shade. If I used a really small precise brush it could just look really intense, especially because it does have shimmer in it as well. It can just get a little bit too much. So if you do have a blush or like cheek product that is a little bit too much, use a fluffier brush. Don't use a dense brush because that will really help you to kind of diffuse that pigment and make sure that it's not crazy. It's not crazy. But you can see, I bet a lot of you when I swatched this were like, oh, that's dark. How the hell does that work for you? But if I use a very, very fluffy brush, it's just the perfect shade for me. I really do like these reddy toned bronzers. I think they work so nicely. Even though I am pale, it's just really, really nice. And I love this so much. I actually don't know what I'm going to do when this goes. I don't know. I'm dreading it a little bit, not gonna lie. So that's the bronzer on one side. Oh, I love bronzer. Something that I've like started really loving is bronzer. I just feel like it makes such a difference. You can see here, it just builds everything. It adds just a little bit and I love it. So this side is going to be Mitchell. Let's see how similar these are. I'm going to use just the same brush. I have just like dusted it off. But let's put this on the other side. I feel like this is more pigmented. That's crazy. It's definitely got that red undertone that I was looking for. But you can definitely see, I think this is a little bit more pigmented, which is interesting. I'm going to be like dusting my brush off like my life depends on it. That's the main thing I was looking for, that like readiness. I didn't want a golden one. I wanted like a red bronzer, and this is definitely that. The shimmer is pretty similar. The shimmer levels, pretty similar. You can see on my forehead there, it's kind of like glistening. Yeah, I think these are pretty good. They're not exact, but for the sake of what I need and for the sake of my like, oh my god, I'm project panning my makeup and I can't deal with it, this is pretty bang on. Okay, I do like to just blend my nose out with my beauty blender just to diffuse it a little bit. What do you think? This is definitely more pigmented, but other than that, I think we're looking really good. I think that is amazing. So the blush that I'm going to use is actually from last duping video. It is my Pan That Face palette blush. So this side is Milani Luminoso, and the closest dupe that I actually found in last video was this. This is my new Revolution Icon blush in the shade Authentic Peach, and this has a really shimmery section on here which is so similar to Luminoso. So I'm gonna use a light hand because the shimmer one in this is like intense, but I'm going to use this one first. I have fallen in love with Luminoso. Like, I loved it before. I knew I loved it already, but having it as part of my Pan That Face palette has been so nice. And something that I've said so many times as well is last year I was hate panning all the time. Everything that I was project panning, I, in the end, did not want to do it anymore. I didn't feel the joy. But this year, all of the products that I picked, I'm so happy with. I'm so excited to do my makeup still. And yeah, sometimes it gets a little bit boring because I'm using the same products over and over and over again. I feel like there are going to be days. But overall, I've been so happy project panning. I like to blush half my nose today and half my chin. Normally it's all, but you know what I mean. I just think it's a perfect everyday blush. Slightly shimmery. It's got that like yellowy reflect to it. So pretty. Yum. And now I'm going to move on to this one. So I'm a little bit scared about this because this is shimmery. This is almost like a highlight. So I think I'm going to do 2 dips in there and then 1 dip in the matte just to kind of make it less glittery. And I'm going to pop it on the cheeks. I've never seen these on the same face. Obviously I've swatched them in the last video together, but you know what? I think that's pretty close as well. I'm going to go in again, 2 shimmer, 1 matte, and go in again. That is cute. Definitely more shimmery. Definitely. I'm not sure if you can see the shimmer on this cheek is definitely more than the shimmer on the other cheek, but color wise, I think they're pretty similar. Definitely a peachy shade. Can you tell I'm wearing 2 different blushes? Can you? I don't know. I can't tell in real life, but part of me worries that when I watch this video back and when I edit it, it's gonna look so obvious. But even the shimmer there on my nose, it's like identical. That's good. I like that. That has made me a lot happier about project panning this. I think that's the point of these videos. I do get scared when I project pan. Like I said before, I love all my project pan items, but that makes me terrified because they're gonna go soon, and a lot of my favorite makeup is about to go and about to leave my collection. So this is just a nice little thing for me to kind of, you know, think to myself, it's okay, even though I'm project panning this makeup and it's gonna go soon, I do have things to replace it in my collection. So don't get too upset. So now we're going to go back to the dupes that we did in this video. I've got my Ofra Glazed Donut and my Makeup Obsession Mega Lightening. These are just so similar. I've said that these are dupes for the longest time, and they really, really are. I just love both of these. And I definitely do feel okay about letting go of Glazed Donut, just because, like, not because I don't like it. I mean, like, look at that. It's so beautiful. This is so old though. This should not be going on my face. It is very old, and I really should be getting rid of it, but I mean, look at that. Are you serious? I'm gonna highlight half my nose, half my chin, and then half my forehead as well. That's where I like to put highlight. We're having a highlighted day today. Okay, that is so I just love this so much. Like, I love this. It's probably one of my favourite highlights of all time because it's just so beautiful. Like, how can you argue with that? Well, I'll tell you how. With this was like £4. I think this has been discontinued. Which, honestly, why are the best things always discontinued? But sadly, it is. And look at that. It is crazy. Now, this does emphasize a little bit of texture. It's not the worst thing in the world by far. I mean, look at that. Are you kidding me? It's not the worst thing in the world, but I've definitely noticed a change in the look of my skin when I use this one. But if you own this, pull this out of your drawers because it's summer. Summer's coming soon. The perfect time for like a blinding highlight. Yeah, it's not actually as bad as I remember it being, but you can definitely tell the Ofra is a lot smoother. But actually, you know what? This side isn't as bad. Maybe it's because I did have quite bad skin in the past. I'm gonna tone down this nose highlight just a little bit because that's a lot. But I did have very, very bad skin in the past, so maybe that's why I remember it being a lot worse than it was texture-wise. But like today, it looks fine. It looks really, really nice. So, I mean, cheeks, I think they look pretty identical. Not gonna lie. What do you think? I think we've absolutely killed it with the cheeks. I'm really, really excited. I know I can let go of these things with a good conscience. And I mean, my makeup collection is massive. So like if I don't have one blush, is it gonna be the end of the world? No, but it's Milani Luminoso. I am gonna miss this. I think this is the one that I'm going to miss the most. I don't know. It's like picking between children. I can't do it. Okay, so I'm going to prime with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. I don't have any dupes for this. It's just what I use on an everyday basis. And I'm going to set both sides with the shade Boa from my Pan That palette, which is just the lid setting shade. Every single time I use this, I think, am I going to hit pan today? Is today the day that I'm going to hit pan? But no, of course it's not. Of course it's not. That'd be too easy, that, wouldn't it? I've used this lid setting shade, I think, over 120 times now. Still no pan. Not even a pan. Oh! You know what, though? Something that I've just thought about. I'm going to swatch Rocksteady, which was the taupe that we were trying to dupe. I actually have this from e.l.f., which I completely forgot about. This is the shade Thrift Shop. Oh, no, I don't think this is going to be... No. They're not dupes. This is definitely more of like a greeny taupe. You know those like weird green taupes? I don't really know why. I would much rather it be like more of this kind of taupe, but whatever. But this is not a dupe. It's just something that I thought about quickly then, but don't worry. We're not changing things. So on the Project Pan Eye, I'm going to be using Rocksteady first of all, which is this taupe that we were working on, or focusing on, I should say. I find it really funny. I was thinking about this as I was putting my base on, but I used to love Warm Taupe from Anastasia, and that was what I lived, breathed, and died for. Then I had to try and dupe Warm Taupe out with, obviously, Colourpop, and now I'm duping Colourpop out with Anastasia again. Like, I think that's so funny. But I adore these shades. If I'm gonna be wearing neutrals, I want to be wearing something like this. I am gonna smoke it out a little bit to the side. It's me. It's me. I've got to smoke it out a little bit. I can't just do a neutral look. I've got to do something a little bit different. I don't know. I feel like because my cheekbones are quite pronounced and you can see like the lines, I kind of like to keep the lines going with my eyeshadow sometimes as well. I just feel like it works with my face shape. I'm worried about trying to Project Pan this shade in particular just because it is so firmly pressed. I've used this a lot and there's not much dip in it. There's not much usage on it. I'm just gonna have to try and like buckle down, I guess. But if you've been watching my Pan That Palette updates, you'll already kind of know my plan for this palette. I'm not panicking too much yet. However, the halfway mark to the year is coming up, and I'm terrified about that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so scared. So, that is one of my favourite shades to wear. So beautiful, so smoky, gorgeous. Let's see how ABH compares. I think as of right now, we've got really, really good matches, but this is where it could all go wrong. So I'm going to go into this taupe shade at the end here, and I'm going to pop this on the eye using the same brush. This does have that like micro shimmer, like glitter in it, but it just disappears when you start blending, so you know, whatever. Okay, I think so far we're doing, I think that looks pretty close, to be honest. Look at that. What do you think? You know what? I think maybe this is slightly darker. Slightly. Maybe if I just keep blending it a little bit, it will kind of like calm down. I don't know. Other than that though, identical. Yeah, I'm loving that. I think I'm going to dip back in to Rocksteady just to try and add some like pigment or like add some depth. Just because, as I said, the other side is definitely a little bit darker. I don't think you'd notice though. Yeah, adding that extra little bit of product I think has really helped. Out of 10, how close? How close are we thinking out of 10? I think we're like a 9 out of 10. I honestly don't think you'd be able to tell a difference. That I've used two different... I really don't think you could. Can you? I can't. I'm really happy about that. So, now on the lid, I'm going to take Slated, which is this shimmer that we duped. And I'm going to pop that all over the Project Pan lid. I love this shade so much. I do a really quick and easy eye look on Saturday mornings when I teach. And it is like just these two shades. And I love it. It makes me feel so pretty and just like basic. I don't do basic looks very often, but ooh, this one, it hits different. It really does. And I love how we're about to dupe Colourpop with Colourpop. This is obviously the Super Shock Shadow in I Heart This, which we pulled earlier today. And I'm going to pop that all over the lid. Okay, I can see a slight difference in these two for sure. I think Slated is lighter and the part, like the sparkle particles are definitely more intense than I Heart This. Which is interesting, because I used to think that I Heart This was like the girl, like the go-to. But I think it's been overshadowed and dethroned a little bit. Yeah, you can definitely tell a difference there. This is definitely lighter. This is a little bit more subtle. I mean, I don't even think subtle is the word. I think it's just slightly darker. Let me zoom you in so you can see a little bit better. I think this is the first difference that we're seeing right now. This is lighter. You can definitely see the particles more. This is darker and slightly smoother. Can you see the first difference? But if you just like close your eyes and then just looked at me, I don't think you'd be able to see that at all. So you know what? Our first little bit of difference, but I'm about to go over it anyway with Ice Dream. So maybe it will just be covered again and maybe you won't even notice. So this side is going to be, of course, Ice Dream, the OG. I'm so glad that I have found a dupe to this. I was getting so worried in my last video when I just couldn't find anything to dupe this with, because I love this shade so much. It is like colourful when you don't want to be all out colourful, you know? It's just a wash of nice, subtle colour. You can obviously wear this with like bright blue mattes and it won't be as subtle, but if you are looking for something a little bit more subtle colour, this 100% is your best friend. Like, look at that. So pretty. And now I'm going to go with this side with the Seven Wonders eyeshadow. This is the real test. I know this definitely has more of a base to it, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm going to pop it on and blend it out a little bit up into the crease. Okay, I think this is definitely more intense. It's more of an intense blue than Ice Dream. I think Ice Dream's base is definitely more sheer, but we kind of figured that out when we were swatching it earlier on. Let me add another layer of Ice Dream just to try and match them a little bit more. Just going to try and build it up. Okay, I think that worked. Yeah, that worked. I feel like they're pretty identical now. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, that is insane. So I know that we did dupe a lipstick in this video. However, I think I want to dupe my everyday lip combo, and this is one that I actually duped in last video. So I actually have my everyday lip products in my handbag right now. So 1 second. Okay, so for my everyday lip combo, all three of these are currently in project pans or trying to be finished. So I have to start the NYX Line Loud lip liner. This is a really nice brownie nude, and that is what that looks like. A really nice shade. This is just one that I keep going back to all the time, and I think I'm going to do it step by step dupes. So the dupe that I found for this was MUA Sincere. I feel like that's slightly warmer. Slightly though. You would not be able to tell, I don't think, if you just looked at me. Okay, beautiful. Looking good. Then the lipstick is the Colourpop Lippie Stix in the shade Parker. I am trying to finish this. By the way, that's all we have left. Okay, so stay tuned. Definitely like and subscribe for my rolling project pan, because I think this is going to be gone real soon and you don't want to miss it. And just look how beautiful the lip liner and the lipstick just blend together. It's so nice. Oh my goodness me. Love it. Then I'm going to dupe that with the NYX Fat Oil Click Stick. Now this does have a slightly different formula to it, but just hold on. Just hold on, because I know. Okay, just colour-wise, obviously this is shinier than this. This is a matte side, this is a shimmer side. Shimmer, you know, not shimmer, but gloss. Colour-wise, they're the same. They are the same, you can't tell me any different. But what I like to do on this side, because if you've been on my channel, you'll know I hate matte lips. I actually use a NYX gloss. This is the Butter Gloss in the shade Madeline. So, I'm going to hot that on like that. And with that on, they're the same. Oh my god, they're the same. That is nuts. Okay, I went off camera to do my lashes, and I mean, look at how similar my face looks. This is crazy. Like, I love doing the like duping, but then putting them side by side, it's almost scary. Like, it's almost creepy because everything's so similar. Everything is so similar. I cannot see one thing that is like different at all. The lips, this side is slightly cooler, like slightly, but you've really got to look for that. I don't think you'd see that just like, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think you would like tell a difference? I really don't think so. That is mad. Like, I knew these things worked similarly just from swatching, but putting them on your face, it's like a different realization, and that's why I really wanted to do this little get ready with me style video today. The last video in part 1, I only did the swatches. I didn't do any kind of get ready with me's, but I mean, look at this. Look at this. What do you think? Do you think you're going to do this as well in your collection? I know project panning is so daunting sometimes because you think, oh my god, my favorite thing in the world, it's going to be gone soon and I'm never going to be able to get it back. But if you've got like a decent sized collection, I mean, I've got a massive collection, so obviously I'm going to have some dupes somewhere. And that's what I've really loved about today. Just proving to myself that I can project pan these products. I don't have to be scared anymore. Let me know what you think of this video and also the get ready with me part at the end of it as well. As I said, I didn't do that last time. So do you like this? Do you not like this? I thought it'd make this video a little longer as well. We can hang out for a little bit more time too. So if you did like this video, definitely like and subscribe because it would mean the absolute world to me. I am trying to hit 8.5k by the end of the year, which I don't know if we're going to be able to do, but I know it's a little early to talk about end of year goals, but I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to hopefully do it with your help. I do have a channel memberships as well if you want some behind the scenes goss. But with that being said, this is where I'm going to love you and leave you today, guys. I hope you have an incredible day and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye.